So the question is, I have meditated for 20 years and I haven't become enlightened. What do you suggest? Okay. The question is, I have meditated for many years and I haven't achieved enlightenment. What to do? What to do? Well, I've seen a lot of people like this actually. And what I've seen in my life as a spiritual teacher, that if people are truly committed to finding enlightenment, they'll find it by the law of attraction. Or alternatively, if they're really committed to studying with a spiritual teacher, really are devoted to the teacher, then the teacher can break through their attachments, through their resistance. And that's why surrender to a teacher is important. It's not as good as surrender to life, as opening up to life, but it's very close second best. So what do you do? Well, number one, admit that your spiritual practice does not work. So it does not matter that you have done it for 20, 30, X number of years. If you have been doing something which does not work, quit it. If you join the tradition which obviously does not work, by the evidence, quit it. And I see this a lot. I've done this spiritual practice from the great and amazing teacher which has promised me that I'm going to become totally enlightened and then I will be able to fly in the sky. And in 20 years, you're neither enlightened nor can you fly. I don't know how useful flying would be, but enlightenment would be useful, wouldn't that be? So I am a strong advocate for assessing the situation from the reality point of view. So, to repeat myself endlessly, you have done X number of something with a promise that you will achieve X, Y, Z, and you haven't received X, Y, Z. That means the practice doesn't work. Now, you shouldn't blame the practice right away. You may not be doing practice correctly. But remember that practice is just a vehicle. It's just a way to get to enlightenment. It's the intention which brings you to enlightenment, not the practice. So say I have a fancy car, Rolls-Royce with, I don't know, pink flowers on each side, drawn by an amazing painter. And I want to go from New York to LA. It's great to have a fancy car and drive from New York to LA, LA being enlightenment. And instead of going to LA, I decide to circle around New York and circle and circle and circle. You're driving. You are driving in a really nice car, i.e. with great spiritual practice. But you're circling around your origination, not towards your destination, driving towards your destination. So, frankly, having a beaten up car with a fairly good engine and a good map which points squarely to LA will get you to Los Angeles versus having a really fancy car and circling around New York. And no prejudice towards New York. In fact, I live in the state of New York, at least right now. So, that's my 2 cents.